Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today, we're tackling Stoicism.
Ooh, interesting choice.
Right. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, Stoicism, that's all about being, like, super serious and not showing any
The
emotion.
whole stiff upper lip thing.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to uncover a lot more than that. We've got a ton of material to go through: historical accounts, philosophical texts, even some modern interpretations of Stoicism.
It sounds like we're in for a fascinating journey.
Absolutely. So where do we even begin?
Well, we could start with the founder of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium.
Zeno of Citium.
Yeah, and his story is pretty remarkable. I mean, the guy lost everything in a shipwreck.
Whoa, seriously, a shipwreck.
Yeah, imagine that. You're sailing along, minding your own business, and boom, shipwreck. Talk about a bad day, right?
That's more than a bad day. So what happened after the shipwreck?
He ended up in Athens. While he was there, he stumbled upon the writings of Socrates.
Oh, interesting.
And that kind of sparked his interest in philosophy. He started studying with different philosophers in Athens, and eventually, you know what? He started teaching in a public area called the Stoa Poikile.
Wait, the Stoa Poikile?
Uh-huh.
Is that where the name Stoicism comes from?
You got it, the Stoa
That's
Poikile.
amazing. So a shipwreck leads to the birth of a whole philosophy. That's pretty wild.
Pretty wild, right? But it kind of shows you how Stoicism is all about dealing with those unexpected twists and turns that life throws at you.
Makes sense. But, I still think a lot of people misunderstand Stoicism. They think it's just about, like, suppressing your emotions and just, toughing it out.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just keeping a stiff upper lip. There's a whole system, a whole structure to it.
A system. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
All right, so think of it this way. Stoicism has three interconnected parts. You've got logic, physics, and ethics.
Logic, physics, and ethics. So it's not just about, like, being a good person.
No, it's way more than that. Logic for the Stoics meant having clear thinking, being rational. Physics was about understanding the universe and nature. They called it the logos. And ethics, well, that was all about living a virtuous life, knowing right from wrong.
So it's a whole intellectual framework.
Exactly. And all three parts work together to help you achieve what the Stoics called eudaimonia.
Eudaimonia, what's that?
It's often translated as flourishing or living a fulfilling life.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about enduring hardship, it's about actually thriving.
Exactly. It's about living the best life possible, a life filled with purpose and meaning. And honestly, I think that idea is more relevant today than ever before.
I can see why. Everyone wants to live a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
But Stoicism, isn't that an ancient philosophy? What makes it so appealing in the modern world?
That's a great question. I think it's because we live in a world that's just overflowing with information, stress, and uncertainty.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right. And Stoicism offers these tools to help us navigate all that chaos. I mean, think about it, focusing on what you can control, not letting your emotions run wild, finding peace in the middle of all the craziness. That's incredibly relevant in today's world.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why it's having this kind of resurgence in popularity. It's like people are rediscovering its wisdom.
Exactly.
But weren't there some pretty famous figures who followed Stoicism way back when? I mean, like, historical figures?
Oh, absolutely. You had people like Seneca, Epictetus, even a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius.
Wait, a Roman emperor? That's crazy. Why would an emperor need Stoicism?
Yeah.
I mean, he had all the power in the world.
That's what's so fascinating about it. It's not about your external circumstances, it's about your internal state, how you approach life's challenges.
So even an emperor had stuff to deal with.
Of course, he had to make tough decisions, deal with anxieties, losses, just like everyone else. Stoicism gave him a framework for handling all of that.
So it's not just for people who are struggling. It's for anyone who wants to live a better life, no matter what their situation is.
Exactly. And that's why we see people from all walks of life drawn to it today. It's a philosophy that transcends time and circumstance. It's timeless.
Timeless wisdom. I like that. Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. So tell me, who are some of the people who are making Stoicism relevant for a modern audience?
Well, there's Ryan Holiday, for example.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's written some great books that make Stoic ideas really accessible and relatable for people today. And it's not just writers, You have entrepreneurs, athletes, everyday people who are finding value in this ancient philosophy.
That's amazing. So from a shipwreck merchant to modern-day thinkers, Stoicism has come a long way.
It really has.
But how has it managed to stay relevant for so long? Why does it still resonate with people after all this time?
I think it's because at its core, Stoicism speaks to the human condition.
The human condition.
Yeah, our longing for a good life. Our struggles with difficult emotions, our search for meaning. These are timeless concerns. And Stoicism offers this timeless wisdom to help us navigate them.
I'm starting to get it. It's like a philosophy for life, for all of us.
Uh,
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper into this timeless wisdom. Where do we go from here?
Well, next, let's explore some of those key figures who really shaped Stoicism and see how their lives and writings continue to inspire people today.
All right, let's do it. I'm especially curious about that emperor who was a Stoic.
Oh, Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, him.
He's a fascinating figure. We'll definitely delve into his story.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Welcome back.
All right, so we're diving back into Stoicism.
Picking up where we left off with those fascinating figures.
Yeah, like that Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, him.
What's his deal? Emperor ND, a Stoic.
It's a fascinating combo, right? I mean, imagine having all that power as emperor, but still finding comfort and guidance in Stoicism.
You'd think he'd be like, I'm the emperor. I don't need philosophy.
Right. But no, he actually embraced it. And what's really cool is we get a glimpse into his personal thoughts through his writings, Meditations.
Meditations.
Yeah, it wasn't actually meant for publication. It was more like his personal journal where he reflected on Stoic ideas and how he was applying them to his own life.
So we get to peek into the mind of an emperor practicing Stoicism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We see how he used it to navigate all those tough decisions and the stresses of leadership.
And probably the whole facing your own mortality thing too, right?
Yeah.
Being emperor doesn't make you immortal.
Very true. And that's what's so striking about his writings. He was an emperor, but his struggles are still relatable even today.
Yeah, like what kinds of things did he struggle with?
Oh, the usual stuff. Dealing with frustration, anger, the constant demands on his time, things we all face in our own lives.
So even an emperor got frustrated and annoyed sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of comforting, right? Knowing that even someone in his position dealt with those very human emotions.
It makes Stoicism seem a lot less intimidating.
Exactly. It's a philosophy for everyone, regardless of your status or circumstances.
Okay, so we've got Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor. Who else should we get to know?
Well, there's Seneca, the younger Roman statesman and writer, a bit of a controversial figure.
Oh.
How so?
Well, he was known for his wealth and involvement in politics.
So not exactly the stereotypical image of a humble philosopher.
Not quite. But what's interesting is that he really tried to live by Stoic principles, even amidst all the temptations of Roman high society.
That's been tough.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
But he also wrote extensively about Stoicism and made it more relatable to everyday Romans.
So like a Stoic influencer of his time.
Yeah, something like that. His letters and essays offer these really insightful perspectives on dealing with grief, adversity, the pursuit of a meaningful life.
And people still read them today.
Oh, absolutely. They offer this timeless wisdom that still resonates centuries later.
It's amazing how wisdom can transcend time and culture. It really is. And that brings us to another influential Stoic, Epictetus. Now, he had a very different background. He started his life as a slave.
Whoa, seriously.
Right.
From slave to renowned philosopher. That's incredible.
A truly remarkable journey. He eventually gained his freedom and became a teacher of Stoicism, emphasizing inner freedom control over your thoughts and reactions.
I'm sensing a theme here with the Stoics.
Definitely. And his teachings were compiled into a book called the Enchiridion.
The Enchiridion. What's that?
It's basically a handbook for Stoic living.
A Stoic handbook. Sign me up.
It's a classic, and it boils down those core Stoic principles, managing emotions, focusing on what you can control, finding peace in the midst of challenges.
Sounds like a must-read.
It is. And what's so powerful about Epictetus' story is that he shows us that wisdom and inner peace are achievable no matter what your circumstances are.
So you don't have to be an emperor or a wealthy statesman to benefit from Stoicism?
Not at all. Epictetus didn't let his past define him. He found freedom through Stoic philosophy.
That's inspiring. All right, so we've got Marcus Aurelius with his personal reflections, Seneca making Stoicism accessible to the masses, and Epictetus showing us the power of inner strength, even in the face of hardship.
And those are just a few of the many figures who've contributed to the legacy of Stoicism. What's remarkable is how their lives and writings continue to inspire us centuries later.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like their wisdom is somehow timeless and universal.
Absolutely. But I'm curious, What do you think is driving this renewed interest in Stoicism today? I mean, we're not exactly lacking self-help books and philosophies these days.
Good point. Seems like everyone's searching for answers and meaning.
They are, and I think Stoicism offers something unique. First, it speaks to this deep desire for resilience in a world that feels increasingly chaotic and unpredictable.
We're bombarded with information anxieties, the
Yeah.
24/7 news cycle. It can be overwhelming.
It can, and Stoicism offers a framework for finding calm and clarity amidst all that noise.
So it's like a mental toolkit for dealing with the craziness of modern life.
Exactly. And second, Stoicism is very practical. It's not just about lofty ideas, it's about applying those ideas to everyday life.
Yeah, I can see that. And there's this growing interest in mindfulness meditation, emotional regulation, all things that align with Stoic principles.
Absolutely. So in a way, Stoicism was ahead of its time, anticipating the needs of the modern mind.
That's fascinating.
Oh,
And I've also heard that Stoicism has influenced modern therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy. Is there a connection there?
Oh, definitely. The Stoic emphasis on managing our thoughts and reactions is a core principle of CBT.
So it's like the Stoics were early cognitive behavioral therapists.
In a way, yes. Epictetus famously said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. And that's a fundamental principle of CBT, that our thoughts shape our feelings and behaviors.
So by changing our thinking, we can change how we feel and react to the world around us.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff. And it really speaks to the enduring wisdom of Stoicism, that its principles are still being validated and applied in modern psychology.
I'm starting to see how Stoicism offers a way to not only understand ourselves better, but also take control of our inner world.
That's the heart of it. It's about cultivating that inner strength and resilience that allows us to navigate challenges with grace and wisdom.
It's like having an inner compass to guide us through all the ups and downs.
A perfect analogy. And in a world that can often feel like it's spinning out of control, that inner compass is more valuable than ever.
Okay, I'm ready to learn more about how to actually apply these Stoic ideas to my own life. Where do we go from here?
Great question. Let's dive into some of those practical techniques the Stoics use to cultivate wisdom, manage emotions, and live a truly fulfilling life.
Okay, so let's talk practical application.
Yeah.
How can I actually use Stoicism in my everyday life?
All right, well, one technique that the Stoics were really big on is something called negative visualization.
Negative visualization. Isn't that a little bit, well, negative?
I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But it's all about mentally preparing yourself for challenges. So instead of just ignoring the possibility of bad things happening, you actually imagine them in detail.
So it's like thinking about all the worst case scenarios.
In a way, yeah. But the key here is to visualize these things with a sense of detachment. Like you're mentally rehearsing for them, so that if they do happen, they don't completely catch you off guard.
So I'm not going to freak out because I've already kind of played it out in my head.
Exactly. And by imagining those tough situations, you realize that they're not the end of the world. You can handle them.
I can see how that would be helpful, but doesn't focusing on the negative kind of bring you down?
It can if you dwell on it too much. But the Stoics believed that it could also increase your appreciation for what you have right now.
Oh, I see.
Because when you contemplate the potential loss of things you take for granted, you start to value them more in the present.
So it's like a gratitude exercise.
Exactly. And then another really key Stoic practice is the dichotomy of control.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Remember, it's all about focusing on what you can control and accepting what you can't.
Right, like I can't control the weather.
But you can control how you respond to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So much of our stress and anxiety comes from trying to control things that are ultimately outside of our influence. And the Stoics encourage us to let go of that struggle.
Easier said than done, though, right?
Oh, definitely. It takes practice, but it's about shifting your focus. Instead of dwelling on things you can't change, you pour your energy into what you can, your actions, your thoughts, your responses.
Okay, I'm getting it. So if I'm stuck in traffic, for example, instead of getting all frustrated, I should focus on something I can control, like listening to a podcast
Or practicing some deep breathing exercises.
Right?
The point is to find that inner calm amidst the chaos.
I like it. So those are some pretty concrete techniques. What are some other ways that people can kind of weave Stoicism into their daily lives?
Well, journaling is a great practice for that. It allows you to reflect on your day, examine your thoughts and reactions, cultivate gratitude. The Stoics were all about self-reflection.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like checking in with yourself and seeing where you can improve.
Exactly. And, sometimes the simplest things are the most effective. Like just reminding yourself of those key Stoic principles throughout the day.
What do you mean?
Like when you're facing a challenge, ask yourself, is this within my control? how can I respond to this situation in a way that aligns with virtue?
It's like having those Stoic teachings kind of tucked away in your back pocket, ready to pull out whenever you need them.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, Stoicism is not about becoming some emotionless robot or just passively accepting whatever life throws at you. It's about understanding your emotions, managing them wisely, and choosing to act in accordance with virtue.
It's about finding that inner strength and clarity to navigate all the ups and downs.
Exactly. And that's a journey that's definitely worth taking.
This has been amazing. A real eye-opener. Stoicism isn't just some dusty old philosophy.
Yeah.
It's a practical guide for living a better life.
And the best part is you can start right now.
You don't have to wait.
Nope, pick one of those techniques.
Okay.
Negative visualization dichotomy of controlled journaling. Give it a try.
I know, I will.
Ah.
And for everyone listening, we encourage you to do the same. Explore the world of Stoicism. You might be surprised at how much this ancient philosophy has to offer the modern world.
You might even find yourself embracing the Stoic way of life.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Stoicism.
Until next time.